Hey everyone, welcome back to another Dead Frontier 2 video. I haven't really done a guide in a while, and this is more of a general guide than a beginner's guide, but I figured I'd put it in the playlist anyway. So I wanted to discuss settings just a little bit, not really, not really proper settings as in like graphical settings, but more things like controls, because that's something that I've had a lot of people actually ask how you do. I think I went through it a tiny bit in my original like menu video. Because you can't really rebind keys the way you would on any other game usually. Dead Frontier 2 doesn't really have rebinding keys necessarily in the actual game itself. So the idea here is I'm going to basically guide you through it and sort of help you keep the things you've saved, because it's a little bit of a doozy. So right now, basically, if you were to boot up Dead Frontier 2, if you're just booting up in Steam, this is what you'll get. You'll get this menu, and it'll come up saying Dead Frontier 2, Dead Frontier 2 change controls, DirectX, change controls, and DirectX. Now, of course, DirectX just basically means you're playing on a lesser version of DirectX API, which basically means it's going to be a little more compatible, but it's not really the way Dead Frontier 2 is intended, and there might be a few graphical bugs here and there. So if you've got a slower PC, you might want to go with that. But we're not focusing on that today. We're focusing on changing controls. And a few other tiny tweaks, just like one other tiny tweak that I think might be of use to you. So basically, if you want to change controls, you click this option. If you try and boot the game normally, you'll just get put in with default controls and you can't change them. So what you have to do is you have to boot up this and hit play. And it will come up with the configuration menu, which shows you, you can select your resolution. If you've played a Unity game before, you've probably seen this menu. But what you're looking for is input. And this is where you can change all your controls. So basically it will have the default controls in here the first time you open it, so you'll be able to identify things pretty easily. So profile just means inventory, menu is your menu, chat is just the chat, you press tab for that. Sprinting, shift, of course, sneaking, it's got all the usual stuff in here. Emotes as in like saying I need food or water, that's in there. And you can rebind all this, the map as well. Map is obviously M by default. I've changed that to V. But basically what you do is you go in here and you change it to whatever. So if I want fire to be F for whatever reason, I can make it F. I'm obviously not going to do that. And now I don't know what to do to get that back. Damn it. Whatever, we'll deal with that later. So yeah, it's pretty simple. But if you want to change it, then yeah, you can do it there. But the problem with doing this is that it doesn't save the option. So if you close this, well, it saves the option, but if you were to hit close this and then try and boot the game normally by going to here and then hitting Dead Frontier 2, it won't work. So the only way to do it is by going to change controls, and it will save your options. So if you want to have your key bindings, you have to restart the game the same way every time. Now, to change this or to fix this, assuming you're playing the game on Steam and aren't using it off Steam, because you can do that, you can add launch options. I'm pretty sure you can do this with any other shortcut. So it's not necessarily Steam dependent, but it's pretty useful. So I've got a few things over here, just a few little things that we're going to put in. So basically, in set launch options, you can set a few parameters, and it'll load the game up and put those parameters into account. So we're going to use these today. So show-screen-selector is basically whatever option you choose. If you hit Dead Frontier 2, it'll instantly put you into the same configuration screen we had before, and it'll also save you controls. So it basically means you don't have to worry about it. And this is mainly useful if you're using the shortcut on the desktop, because it doesn't seem to give you the menu saying, oh yeah, which version do you want to launch. It just seems to launch the game as is. So having this is actually really useful if you've got the shortcut itself. And I'll just demonstrate that now. So I go to play and hit play Dead Frontier 2. It'll just come up with a thing. Otherwise it wouldn't. It would just boot into the game. So that's where that's useful. The other option is actually, it's something I noticed, is that a lot of Unity games seem to use borderless windowed rather than full screen. And of course, if you're running a game in windowed mode, it's only going to be running at your refresh rate, meaning no screen tearing, which is not bad in itself. But if you want the game to feel more responsive, and if you've got higher, hertz monitor or whatever, and want to play in full screen, full screen, there we go, got it in the end, then you'll want to use this. This basically sets it to full screen. God damn, that's a tongue twister. So you paste that in, and then it'll boot in full screen, and you'll have little to no input lag, at least in my experience while I've been playing. So yeah, that's essentially the few little tweaks I've got here. Yeah, that's basically how to change your controls and save it 100% every time you boot the game. I mean, it technically saves it anyway, but if you boot the game without the configuration menu, it just completely bypasses your controls. So this is a way, unless Neil changes it in the future, this is a way to do it for now. So yeah, if that's been getting on your nerves, that's the way to fix it. That's the way I've been doing it. It makes life a lot easier. Yeah, and obviously that little extra launch option, which I find pretty useful myself because I hate input lag. So yeah, well, that's basically it. I hope you all enjoyed. Rather short, just wanted to make a small one today. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.